Howdy, everyone. Tad Stevens on the Micro Success Secrets podcast, where we focus on business psychology and marketing and how you can use that in your business daily and long term. Today, I'm talking with Cristiana Blasutta, who is an international life and health coach. Her mission is to help overwhelmed women get unstuck so that they can finally create the life they've always dreamt of and live in full alignment with themselves. She received her training from the Coach Training Alliance and from the Institute for Integrative Nutrition while she was living in the U.S. She spent 12 years in the Seattle area and moved to Italy in 2016. She loves the beauty of life and is attracted to beautiful souls. In her coaching, as well as in her personal life, she likes to go deep and create a heart-to-heart connection, the only one she believes can change lives for the better. With her sensitivity and intuition, she will help you discover your inner light, your real beauty, and shine. Cristiana, welcome to the show, and let me know if I missed anything.
Hi, Ted. No, thank you. It's a beautiful presentation. I was listening to it, and I'm very thankful that you did that. Yes, you didn't miss anything. And you pronounced my name really well, so
Thank you. I appreciate that. Names are important to me.
Yes.
So to start off with, if you could, just for example, if you could get in a time machine and go back in time and you could change one business or life decision, first off, would you change it? And secondly, what would you change it to if you could?
This is a really beautiful question, and I just watched Back to the Future with my kids, so it's really aligned with this. Normally, I would say that I don't regret any decision that I took because I always think that every experience, even the bad ones, at the end are learning experiences. But if I really want to be super picky and find something, I would just move abroad earlier. It was my dream was when I was young, I wanted to study abroad and I couldn't do that. And if I could go back in time, I would just do that because I love languages. I love getting in contact with different cultures. And I think it's a beautiful growing experience. So I would just do that earlier. Yes.
That is awesome because we are talking about going abroad and possibly living in a place where we don't initially know the language of the country. That is a learning experience. I truly believe that.
Yes.
So kind of related to that, if you could go back in time and you could look at the decisions that you have made, is there one that stands out as just super positive? I mean, it's like you can look back in time and you can think, wow, everything before this is this way and everything after is that way. Do you have one of those?
Yes, absolutely. It's really moving to the US. I told you I love traveling. I love learning on the spot there. And when you have the possibility to have the full immersion, you learn the language, you learn the culture, you learn the subtleties that you cannot learn if you just study a language, right? And so the best decision that my husband and I could take was really having the courage to move to the US and leaving everything that we knew here in Italy, because now we are still in Italy, back in Italy, and move there. I didn't speak the language, and for me it was, I really wanted to learn the language, and I think it was the best experience because then I was able to do that, learn the language, and it was the best. It was a really good decision, life and business decision, both combined, because I met really great friends. I'm still good friends with them. I was able to learn that I'm stronger than I thought, because when you move to a different country, you need to start from scratch and learn everything, even going to the bank and opening a bank account. It can be, it can be challenging too, right? Finding the place. I had to take my driving exam again, even though I had it in Italy.
Yeah.
So I had to go through that and study new rules and new things. And also it was the best decision business-wise because I was introduced to coaching. In Italy, I didn't even know what coaching was. And then I found someone that introduced me to coaching, and this is really my dream job. So I think it was really the best decision ever.
Okay. And the next question is sometimes has the same answer, but if you could go back and look, what decision was the scariest?
Yeah, I think it's the same. It's the
Same
same
one. Yeah.
answer.
You would be
Yeah.
surprised how many times it is the same answer.
I know, and that's why I tell you that even bad experiencing at the end are the best learning experience ever, right? If you're so afraid of doing something and then you're able to overcome the fear, then what
Mm-hmm.
beauty comes after? It's amazing, right? And it was the scariest experience. It was leaving the known to go into the unknown. But as I said earlier, I really found out things about myself that I didn't know. I was shocked that I'm so resourceful that I'm able to make friends with really, really easily, right?
Mm-hmm.
And also was able to learn the language in being immersed in the culture in the place. I was able to pick it up very quickly. So it was a really good surprise, right?
And that is a great point that I want everybody to understand. I've experienced it myself. Is that if you immerse yourself in the other language, in the environment where the other language is dominant, is that you will learn it so much faster. I learned Spanish when I was a young man,
Oh,
and
wonderful.
no formal training, just being around people that spoke that
Yes.
language. And it's funny. I always tell my kids and my wife is that when you have to eat, you'll learn how to ask real quick.
Exactly. Yeah. There's no other way, right? You don't
Yeah,
have a
there's no
choice.
other way. I mean, you have to pick up certain words and
Yeah.
phrases and the
Yeah.
feeling and the meaning to get certain things to get through the day. So yeah.
Exactly. And for me at the beginning, I was smiling a lot because I couldn't understand anything. And I would ask my husband, so what did she say? What did he say? But then I was so eager to communicate. And then
Mm-hmm.
I didn't, I just say what I could say, even with mistakes. I didn't care. I just wanted to communicate, right? And
Keep
the more
going.
you communicate, the more you learn from your mistakes. And it was really a beautiful experience. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Likewise, totally agree with that. So, and this kind of relates to that is we all come up with struggles, especially as entrepreneurs, business people. I mean, we make decisions every day. It's part of what we do. Do you have a way, a technique, a method that you use to get through those decisions, the hard ones? I mean, the big ones or even the small ones, the ones that just come up day in, day out. Do you have anything that you could share with others on how you keep from getting stuck or move through being stuck?
Yes, I do have one thing that I always share with my clients. So it's and it was taught to me by one of my wonderful coach is that
Mm-hmm.
things are temporary, and if you don't like something, you can change it, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I just go into action. I feel I'm very intuitive, so I check in with my intuition and I feel what's the best decision for me in that moment, and I go with that. But then, if down the line it's not the right decision, I know that I have the choice to change it again. So
Mm-hmm.
I go into action and I course correct. So that way, instead of staying in the energy of resistance, because when we are stuck is because we are afraid of something, we're resisting change. Instead of staying in
Right.
that energy, I just move it through into action. And then I know that if I don't really like it or if it's really not serving me, I can still change it. So that's what keeps me from being stuck.
That is a great answer. And it
Mhm.
reminds me of a movie that I used to watch or that we used to watch with our kids when they were much younger. And there's a quote in the movie at the end. It was a Disney movie. If ever, I'm sure everybody's heard of Disney, seen those, at least
Yes.
some of them. But it was a quote that Disney said as part of a speech he had given one time. And it was all keep moving forward. And I love that because to me, that reminds me so much of what you just said is that, yeah, you get stuck, but just keep moving forward.
Yes.
And that is one thing I use. That's why I bring it up is because that
Wonderful.
resonates with me. I really love that. So last question, kind of trying to wrap it all up and get a little more personal maybe with you and understand where you're coming from to so that people when they're going through similar things that are listening and viewing this might get some benefit out of it. What do you want out of your business, out of your life? If you could wrap it up in a sentence or two, is there a way that you could say that to people that are listening?
Well, out of my business is that my mission is really to help women reclaim their own power, if I can use these words, because I think that especially for women, there are so many conditioning that we have, but if we are really able to fully align with what we know already, and this is true for men too, but I really want to work with women. And when they are ready to align and trust and understand that we have an inner voice, we have an inner wisdom, then we can be powerful, empower other people too in their choices, and live a life that is truly in alignment with who we are. So that's my mission in my business. And out of my life, I really want to wake up every morning with joy and vitality and energy, and being able to share my life with the people that I love and have an impact in the world through my business. It's very important for me.
And that, I think, is super important. I want to point that out to the listeners and viewers as well, is that when we talk about this a lot on the podcast is, what is it that gets you out of bed in the morning? Why do you get up and go do what you do? And it always comes back to some passion that people have. I have yet to have anybody on this show say, oh, I want to get up and sell stuff. No, nobody has come up with that answer. I think this is like our 90th episode. So, excellent. Love that answer. Love it. Love it. So time to wrap up a little bit. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being on the show. Is there anything that you'd like to close with, to leave the listeners and viewers with something that might benefit them?
Yeah, so we talk about getting unstuck and how I'm good at doing that. And it's really what I offer to people. I started offering the Get Unstuck in 30 Minutes free call, because I really want to help people move forward. And so if they go on my Instagram, Cristiana Blasutta is the handle. And if they go to my website at www.cristianablasutta.com, they can take advantage and have a really nice conversation in 30 minutes. I'm sure that I will be able to help them get unstuck. And that's really what I would like to leave for the listeners.
All right, super. And I will make sure that your Instagram and your website contact information is in the show notes and in the description wherever we post the audio and video. Thank you very much again for your time. It's been a great interview.
Thank you.
Thanks to everybody for listening in, for viewing. If that's what you're doing, have a safe and productive week and be the very, very best at whatever it is that you're doing. Until next time, Tad Stevens with Micro Success Secrets. Bye for now.